again, everybody. So I just want to really quickly go over um, discussion guides and focus notes. So you'll see those two things used interchangeably. I'm sorry, I know that it's a little bit confusing, but discussion guides and focus notes, they're the same thing. Um, we're just kind of in the middle of doing some changes on them to make them work a little bit better. But I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about what these focus notes slash discussion guides actually are. Okay. Why we're doing them, what's the point, and how to get full credit on them. Because these are actually worth quite a bit of your grade. And really, they're pretty easy to get full credit on as long as you follow the steps and just answer the questions. It's not too bad. So, first things first, this is an example of the first discussion guide slash focus note that you are going to do. Okay. Um, this one specifically is going to be focusing on a political cartoon. Some of them you might be looking at primary sources, like things people wrote in the time. Some of them you might be watching a video. It all just kind of depends. But this one, you will be looking at a political cartoon. Now, step one, taking notes exactly as it says. You're just taking the notes, right? So you answer each of these questions. Some of the questions are, sometimes there's longer questions that need kind of more in-depth answer. Sometimes there's a lot of shorter answer questions like on this one. It just kind of depends. Use your best judgment. But each question should have at least a full sentence answer. Okay. So answering the questions to the best of your ability, right? If you ever reach a question and you're like, I have no idea what this question is talking about, just reach out to me. I can help you. That's what I'm here for. But make sure you answer all the questions and you'll get full points on this one. Step two, also really easy. You're highlighting some things. For the first one, if there's any words that you're unfamiliar with, highlight those in green. Okay, so this one, maybe you don't know what colonized means. Okay, so maybe you have to look up the word colonized. So you would highlight that in green, and then down here in step three, you would define that. Now, if there's nothing in this discussion guide, in this focus notes, that you don't know what it means, that's totally fine. You can just say not applicable. I knew what each of these words meant, which is awesome. However, the second step of this, the second part of step two, I guess, is highlighting which question you think is most applicable to you personally. Now, this is one that a lot of people skip because they're like, well, this was like 100 years ago. It has nothing to do with me. I promise it does. Okay. So, highlighting a question that you can relate to personally, right? So, maybe something like, what is the message of this cartoon? You can relate to that because you've seen political cartoons, right? A lot of times today, political cartoons come in the form of memes. That is a form of a political cartoon. So you can say, this message of this political cartoon is maybe really similar to like a meme that I've seen recently. It can relate, okay? So try to find some sort of personal connection. I apologize. Um, because that's where most people lose points is in step two and step three, just skipping over that because they're like, I don't connect to this. Try to make some sort of connection so that you can get those points. Okay. Step 4 and 5 are just basically synthesis questions. So you've answered really simple questions up here of just like what is happening, what have you learned, and down here you're going to have to kind of think about it. You're going to have to put those ideas together and tell me why this thing is important, essentially. So they all say they should be 2 to 3 sentences. Answer the question. As long as you answer the question in 2 to 3 sentences, you are good to go. Easy peasy. That's all you need to do. Okay? And then for step 6, you can just combine them. Step 6 is the only one that you can really skip because you're essentially doing that in your discussion post. That's exactly what you're doing. You're just combining step 4 and 5. So it just makes it easy if you combine them right here to copy and paste into your discussion board. Okay. So that is how discussion guides work. I will have more video assignments that talk about, um, the specific discussion guides, but that is kind of a general overview. Okay. So as always, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. Otherwise, have fun. Thanks, friends.